Godspeed to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, the summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay on forever. We'll never have regret.
Good afternoon. It's 10 past 2 here in Central Europe, and it's time for another live. I have been busy with the Heart Collector shawl, just not as busy as I would have originally desired. Things has also required my attention, unfortunately. But we finished row 56, or I finished row 56 off screen. I bumped into a small thing which kinda technically normally I would have frocked it, but I decided I did not feel like frocking almost 300 stitches, not 300 stitches back, 3,000 stitches back, because that's what it would have been. And I decided that it is so very minuscule, and it's likely a project I'm keeping myself regardless, that I am not going to do that. It's just too much work, basically, the end. And I think when I'll hold it up, you won't see it on distance. I could try find it. You can tell me if you think it's there. I know what it is, but oh my goodness. Shawl tangled up, which is definitely not a surprise. Let me see if I can find it. Hello, Susan. Good morning to you. Here is my mistake. It's somewhere here, right? So I can, maybe that's easier if I put it down on if I do the screen viewer and then I have it flat, because then I don't need to worry about how I'm holding this. I think that's better. So let me just put down on the double screen view. Let me put it like this. There is a mistake in the previous row of what I've just done. It's not that visible. Well, you have an idea, but I mean, the alternative was frocking 3,000 stitches back. And I kind of decided, no, 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 no. It's just too much. I've got to a point that this project is too much to frog. That's my point. It's so hard to see that I'm not gonna frog this pack. It's just like, it's just not gonna happen. I decided I'm fine with it. That doesn't happen often. And now we're in this small mistakes. You know, we all make small mistakes because we aren't God, right? We aren't perfect, if anyone believes in that. Meanwhile, it's also just brutally hot here, which means that I have no tea today because this is just too warm for tea. Yesterday was also like getting really hot, and I came to my in-laws, and the first thing is she's like, "Oh yeah, you want soup?" And I'm like, "No soup. Soup in heat doesn't go well." And they're like, "Yeah, but here we drink soup when it's warm." And I'm like, "Why would you do that? Yeah, lots of salt." I'm like, "Yeah, I can get salts other ways, like not necessarily from soup." So I had just cooled down, and I took some soup, and instantly, as I had the soup, I was as hot as I were before I had cooled down. No soup. Anyhow, here, as you can see, it is in the 90s. It's sunny with a temperature of 91 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 33 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from south at 8 miles per hour. The current humidity is 45. It doesn't sound that humid, but it feels really warm and like pressuring hot. So that is going to be our weekend, basically. We are going to have thunderstorms in the evenings and freaking hot over the day. I don't know. They promised thunderstorms. We'll see if we'll get them. In New Jersey, it's fair with a temperature of 71 degrees Fahrenheit to 22 degrees Celsius. The wind is blowing from west at 9 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 54. So yeah, so basically, I got to that's a challenge now. I have so much shawl, don't have room for it everywhere. So I didn't finish as much of this cake I'm working on as I had wanted to before today. It's just a fact. I need to count stitches, but I think I did it correct. Because here is supposed to be 52 stitches in total, if I understand correct. So let's just count them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 4, 6, 8, 30, 2, 4, 6, 8, 40, 2, 4, 6, 8, 50, 52. Perfect. Yay. I love when things actually do add up. So we are indeed about to start row 57. So it's basically just cracking on where we left. I might have. Did I even weave in ends? Maybe I did weave in ends yesterday. I don't remember anymore. But yeah, so we have so much shawl, literally so much shawl, that I cannot have it all on the table at the same time because it's just too heavy. And if I let it hang, it's also too heavy, so it's a bit of a mess. In all fairity, so I am actually looking forward for this slowly coming towards its end. Okay, so we start the rows as always by stacking 2 single crochets, and then another 2 doubles in the same stitch. And then this is a lace row. Should we call it that maybe? Because it is the rows, you know, where we have the airy gaps. So that's what I meant. Maybe this row is actually going to be quick. Maybe we'll actually manage to finish row 57 together today. That would be cool. Color change or not. Chain 3. 2 double crochets in the first stitch. Yeah, that we did. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So basically what we're doing now is we chain 1, skip 1 and double crochet. So we'll do that all the way to the end. That should be the 25. That should fit with having 1 on each side. That's 52. So that will indeed match the expectations I have. And then when we get all the way down there, we need to remember to do 2 in the centers. Okay, fair enough. I can do that. So yeah, it's gonna be curious to see if everything is gonna be all right for this this weekend. It's just gonna be warm, many things to do. Makes me a little bit of a busy person, so to say. And I was trying to do some math earlier. I didn't succeed in that either. For the simple reasons as time flies. 1, 2. So what have you guys been up to? Working on things, crafting, just enjoying some good weather maybe? I mean, I've tried to be better at getting moving, and yesterday was basically just too hot to do it decently. So today, I'm not so sure it's gonna happen. I may, for the first time since sometime last week, not get my daily exercise in, but I mean, that's just how it's gonna be. Or I had to get like super early up and get it done in the morning. I could have done that, of course. Could have. Should probably have, but then I should also go earlier to bed. Then we are kind of back in the poor rhythm of going to bed on time or not. Which I appear to be really, really poor at. To go to bed on time, that is. I mean, last night I ended up going 15 minutes later to bed because I wanted to finish the last few stitches of this row, right? It was just nice to kind of finish it up. Good morning, happy Friday, Megan. I hope you're gonna have a great happy Friday. So what I should do now, just to make sure. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 5. Perfect. Susan started a blanket, a baby blanket in the Hobby Lobby clearance, a baby yarns. Ooh. I guess you got a good deal. I assume you got a good deal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 7. And then we are gonna do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the center. then it's just cracking on. So this is simple. I can definitely do that. Anyhow, I got lemonade rather than tea because, as I said, it is warm here. I am even in shorts. And then you might wonder why I have um, a long sleeve on, but I guess I just feel a bit comfier in my long sleeves. It's because it's a bit on the edge. I closed the door, which makes it a bit cooler inside. We have no air conditioning. Right now, I could sort of wish we had. But I mean, so, and because I'm in the shade and everything, I guess I just feel colder, not necessarily freezing, but I'm not sweating either. And therefore, as long as I'd rather have it a little bit on the warmer side than I want to have it on the colder side. And it is a pretty thin shirt. But I have lemonade rather than tea. And it's lemonade without the bubbles. Oh my goodness, good morning, Lisa. You're early up today. And yes, please give me the thummies. It is Friday. I am cracking on row 57. And as I said, I didn't get as much done yesterday as I hoped to get done. That's just how it is. But we are cracking it on, and I think we are making decent progress still. I don't know if it was because I was so overly happy that we were probably closer to being finished that I thought we were. I don't know. But I do know that we do have a fair bit of work to get done still. So 2, 4, 6, and then 3, 3. Yeah, we can do it like that. That works. Oh, the dog woke me up with the farts. That's not fun. Put her outside, saying, "Hey, you need to fart off." Do you use fans for cooling, Susan? I would, yes. Right now it's not that warm that I need it yet. Our house recently keeps cool as long as we can keep the sunshade out in front of the windows. So our windows in the living room is faced to the south, which means that we get all the heat from the sun there. But we also have like a sunshade we can put out, and as long as that's out, that does delay the time it takes for the whole house to heat up, so to say. So it is probably like 75-ish degrees indoor, I guess, in comparison. And given the fact that I'm not moving right now, the shorts is just cool enough to, well, I almost freeze the bottom part of my legs, but there's no trousers on because it's shorts. And I guess that's why I have my top on. But it could be that I drop it later. It could also be, yeah, I don't know. It gets warmer in the afternoon. We are not in the peak yet. Peak will come at probably in an hour and a half, I guess. We'll see. Is your house built with wood or concrete? It's bricks. So probably a combination of concrete and bricks. We only have wood in the windows and stuff. The rest is bricks and concrete. I think the indoor is probably like concrete and the outer layer is bricks to kind of keep it nice and neat. Is my guess. Yep, bricks helps keep it cool. Indeed. 2, 4, 6. Just don't touch the bricks on the outside. Trust me, if I would walk out right now and touch the bricks we had on that side, whoo, that would be warm. Like really warm. But yeah, so I don't know. We're still gonna have to crack on to make it. Next week, next week, next week, we if I remember correct, we have a sort my stash video on Monday, and then Tuesday. It's just Tuesday. Wednesday will be live. Friday, normally I would have been live, but I am gonna do a yarn talk video because I have an appointment Friday that causes me to, if I still need to get my work done for the day, I will be unavailable. So we'll do a live or not a yarn talk catch up, and then the following week I'll be back with a live on the Monday. So next week is going to be a little bit chill in the sense of going live, and then I'm a bit curious if I'll be able to keep it up, because fundamentally I need to keep this up if I really want to have it finished within the deadline we put for ourselves, right? But last weekend I succeeded, so maybe if I keep focus I can do it again. Just need to put a series on, watch, and mindlessly crochet. Still remember to count every so often, because even though if I do count, apparently I do still make mistakes. Make fewer mistakes, but I still make mistakes. Ooh. Lisa's going to finish the Must Pro hat today, so that will be a finished object. We like that. Finished objects is not something that's high on my list this month. I have one finished object because we've been busy on this, so maybe we'll have 2 finished objects. But I'm not going to reach this for Friday. This is me being extremely realistic. If I had nothing else to do, if I had no obligatories at all, I think I could probably have it finished for Friday's yarn talk video. But I am very sure that my partner would not be happy if I told him that, honey, I am not going to do anything for the next couple of weeks because I want to finish this shawl. He would be, that is a no-go, honey. And that's fair enough, to be honest. 2, 4, 6, including the 3 on top. So yeah, I do believe they say it's gonna be like 30-ish the coming day. So we are just hovering around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm a bit curious what it actually exactly says, but I feel it's something along those lines. Yeah, well, until Wednesday, we'll be around these 30 degrees Celsius, plus minus a few. Then we'll drop a little bit Thursday, Friday, and then we'll go back up high. It's just gonna be hot. But let's face it, a week ago I was complaining about that it was still spring because it was so cold everywhere. This is what you get when you complain. You get the exact opposite. So I think the bottom line of this is it is never good enough, is it? No. That is the reality of things. Mhm. Talked with a friend, and she was like, she's moved from California to Alabama, and I think she enjoyed most parts of the Californian weather except for, um, you know, the pricing of houses and so on. Um, so she kind of misses the Californian weather now because it's so much more like warm and humid where she moved to. And I could easily imagine. For 6. It's going to rain here today. The sky's very dark already. I am thankful that my guys got the lawn mowed yesterday. I can definitely understand. For sure. I mean, rain just makes everything grow again. Meanwhile, I think we're gonna get a bee's nest in my garden. I'm not sure if I'm happy or not happy. For 6. Because bees in general are very calm and docile. So they should not really be a problem. I just don't know if I'm also allergic to bees. I've never been stung by a bee. I mean, um, so that's why I'm a little bit like, I'm not sure if I'm keen on it. But I'd rather have a bee's nest than a wasp nest. The wasps, I know I can't do. Two, four, 6 plus 3. Yeah. Well, after it rains, I have a couple of areas in my yard that are low spots, so it takes a while for them to dry so they can be mowed again. Ah, right. So it gets like very soft, muddy tendency. Yeah, that's no good. I hope the next shawl I decide to crochet does not require 3 cakes. Though that said, I should probably start working on finishing that water pearl shawl, which has been started as well. So that's probably going to be a priority at some stage this year as well. 2, oh, that's 3 for 6 matches. Because this is it's just a lot of shawl, right? I'm having it partially on my lap, partially on the table, partially hanging. Then we are gonna do a helicopter tour showing the sheer size of it. Once complete. I think after that shot you need a few quick makes. Yes. I 100% agree. Well, I do have my vest, which is sort of half done, so that's semi-quick, I guess. I just need to get the buttons done. 2, 4, 6. Which maybe I can do that weekend as well. I do have a few things to do. So the weekend I'm home alone, I did crazily enough sign myself up to compete at the Dutch Championships, which is on the Sunday. And I may want to go on the other days to say hello to other people I know. But I'll still have some time over, I guess. So we'll have to see. That was not correct, Stina. Yay, that's a good thing. I can quickly frock this at least, because it was just a one stitch. One stitch frocking is the best frockings. But yeah, I definitely need some small, quicker projects. I couldn't agree more. I need something that uses up yarn and not just in general quick makes. I've actually been debating how a velvet hat type would that be interesting, even, like, you know, similar as to, like, think about knitting a hat in a velvet yarn. Would that be a thing? Would that be interesting because of its softness? Would it worm? Well, who knows? You only know when you do it, right? Just debating. But technically, I guess there's always a risk of it. 2, 4, 6. I mean, I've seen, I think it's Cameron Crochet who does baby beanies and so on in velvet yarn. That's crochet and not knit, but I mean, so it must be possible. Though the thing is, it's polyester, right? So it's not a natural fiber. Would one want that? On the other hand, when you look at the hats people can buy at the stores these days, they are all synthetical fibers, more or less, unless they are willing to pay a fortune for them. Hela says she needs to greet me from my dad. Thank you. Greetings are back. Ah, Lisa is asking because she's never used velvet yarn, just gave the velvet yarn she had away. If you frock it, it worms. So whatever one wants to do, you definitely don't want to frock it. Good morning, Rev. I hope you're having a great morning. And ladies and gentlemen, I shipped parcels yesterday, so they should be on their way, theoretically speaking. Or it could be that they haven't been picked up yet, or maybe around now. because it looked like I had arrived just as the post had picked up the shipments of the day. It's typical in my luck. 2, 4, 6. I made a loaf cut with full weight woven yard. Okay. Never done loaf cuts. There's also like different sort of velvet yarns, right? So there's the chenille, which is not necessarily what I would consider. Like, you have the soft chenilles, which is great for plushies, but they're not as like velvety soft. Scrunchies, yep, definitely check. I think it's Banat Velvet, yeah. So Banat Velvets would probably work fine, right? But I mean, maybe it's not so bad, but it is. Oh, sorry. It's synthetical fibers. So I was just, I don't know, just wondering, I guess. Two, four, six, three, three. Yeah. Maybe listed as 5 weight, but it's not thick like chenille. Yeah, and there is also different levels of chenille thickness. I mean, there are some who's thicker than others. Here in Europe, standard size seems to be like 100 meters. Oh, sorry, not 100 grams, so 3.5 ounces to 120 meters. So that's like going to be 130 some odd yards. That seems to be like the standard version here. And they usually call for like maybe somewhere between a 5.5 and a 7 millimeter hook, depending on the project you want to make. I would then make plushies if I would do that in amigurumi, in probably a 4.5 millimeter hook. I've been using that before. Not sure what brand similarity that would be in the US though. Lisa's glad she got up now because now the chainsaws are running outside. Oh my goodness. There was no plans for you to sleep in today. Not for me either. I had to work 2, 4, 5. But tomorrow I may just try to sleep in a little. I should in any case try to get to bed on time. Because we're a little bit back in the what I should do, not necessarily what I do. Which I'm really poor at. I'm really poor at doing what I'm supposed to do. What would be best for myself. Rev finished the blanket that he did start a last stream. That obviously makes me curious. Give me just one moment to finish the side and do my counting. 2, 4, 6 plus 3. Perfect. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. There we go. Ooh. You've been cracking on, my friend. How much yarn left? Still some scraps, or do do do. Ooh, I do see we're a little bit far down actually. Not sure how that happened. That's better. Double crochet V-stitch goes really fast. True. Goes quicker than certain alternatives. I mean, try imagine making a blanket out of slip stitches only. I'm already panicking here inside myself. 100 skeins used so far this year. That is awesome. My skein consumption really looks poor, my friends. And that's because we have been so much focusing on doing this. And it's just thin and it takes forever. But I've chosen to prioritize and I'm kind of fine with it, if that makes sense. So that's where we are at. But yeah, 100 skeins, my goodness. That's like a skein every second day, more or less. Less even. But it's definitely a nice statistical number. I think you should ask your local yarn store if they would want to sponsor you. I mean, you're a good customer. Extra discount or something like that. It's last donation blanket for the batch. We'll be shipping them off on Monday. Ooh, how many blankets would there be in that batch? Just for my curiosity's sake. You've lost count? Then you have made a fair few. Might be 6. Okay. I mean, when one loses count. I found my double red stranded beanies that I made in January, which I was like, nah, they are a little on the rougher side. I definitely couldn't ask people to pay for them. I found those and I packed them in the bag that I'll be bringing to Denmark for the summer. There could go donations in and so on. 2, 4, 6. Need to gather them up, so let me go check. I need to get them all washed anyway. Okay. And I agree, Susan, Ref is pretty cool. I mean, talk about somebody who crochets a lot. Oh, I do apologize. I am really in a sleepy mode right now. Oh, and it's time to move around on the shore because else it weighs too much down on me. Compared to where I am currently working. But yeah, so I will crack on this, and I really hope that we can at least maybe finish this row. I don't know if we can. It is the quick row, so theoretically, if we keep focus, maybe. So 3, 2, 4, 6. What to do with all your leftover colors? Exactly. What's happening with the scraps? You're making one big scrap blanket or scrap basket or scrap what? Doo-doo. I'm collecting my scraps. Depending on what's right. Tails I've woven in, those ends I collect for filling for future amigurumis. Um, definitely something that I need to look into. I'll imagine, actually, because we are having July coming up and we are talking about I probably should make some smaller projects, that some of those might end up being amigurumis. Um, and then I'm likely using some of this to fill. Oh my goodness, I do really apologize for my yawning. It's a bad day on that account. I feel really tired and I don't know why. It could be the heat, of course, but it's probably more likely a lack of sleep. We have removed the duvet from the bed sheets, so we just take an extra bed sheet on top because it's just been warm. I mean, we have tropical nights of 20 degrees. Yeah, okay. But I wouldn't know what. Da, da, da. After a ridiculous amount of dropped stitches, I finally got my hat on the double-pointed needles. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry about all the hassle you had to go through to do that transfer. I do not need that many. So we are going to do a cake change soon. Hallelujah. The small party bits of life. 2, 4 plus 3. Here is 3. And we'll crack on with the 6 on this side. Da, da, da. Still feels like we have barely started on this round. But we are cracking on just nicely, I think. And it does go quicker. I mean, it's probably only about half of the crochet stitches I have to make. The double crochets, because the others are just chains, which goes fast enough, right? Quick row, still about 1,000 stitches. Yep. Isn't it sad? It should be a quick row, but I mean, it's, oh my goodness. A lot of stitches. And Lisa, as I told some of them, I made a mistake a row and a half, well, 2 rows ago-ish. And I was debating if I wanted to frog like roughly, quick calculation estimation, 3,000 stitches, and I decided I did not. I concluded genuinely that I was not going to do that. I was just going to do my best to cover it up, so to say. And that's what I did. And because I know where it is, I can't find it because I know what the issue is. But I mean, it's not that seeable. And I decided that the amount of stitches, it was like, I could estimate 5 to 6 hours of work I would have to frog back. And I just didn't want to do that. I've done that once before for a few. And in this case, I decided that this time it's not happening. Yeah, it was a reasonably easy nope. hmm And I mean, if I did that, I would definitely have an even less likelihood of reaching my goals. Um, just because of the amount of stitches. I realized last night, and I was like, ugh, do I want to? Don't I want to? Do I want to? Don't I want to? And it felt reasonably easy to actually decide on the. I am a perfectionist, but I'm not that much of a perfectionist that I think that is a good idea to do. The end. uh, 2, 4, 6. So yeah, in that sense, it did indeed feel like an easy no thank you. That will not happen. Decision. So the count is 6, but I am missing an old blanket I had made for Boogie Creek and never shipped off. I might have given it away, but I just don't remember doing so. Oh. Yeah, that's a good question then. Um, these days, these are all handmade items. They're not supposed to be perfect. Well, I want to be perfect. That's my problem. If someone wants a perfect item, they can buy a mass-produced item from a big box store. True. I am often trying to do perfect things, though. I guess that's a downside of me. It's in some aspect also a benefit because it's certainly well for shooting. Um, but I mean, sometimes you can also get too focused on doing it correct. I have all my makes in 2 large bins, and it's not there. Then maybe you did give it away. You just don't remember. I just do random. I just randomly hand people stuff. Yeah, but as long as they don't know that they were supposed to get an extra blanket, they're probably fine. I mean, where you donate, I'm sure they're not going to look at you for bringing 5 or 6, as long as you say how many you're bringing. But I could be wrong. Donna, the coordinator, is thrilled to death I am sending any. See, so everything is good, right? Everything is perfect, one would think. I'm also sending her some coffee that's local to me as a thank you gift for all her work coordinating everything. Oh, that's nice. It's always good to get local things, right? It's like extra treacherous souvenirs. Donna is good people. Donnas usually are good peoples. And there is the rain. So it's raining in Winkler in Canada right now. Here the sun is still shiny, shiny. And I say it is a warmity warm. I think we're probably slowly hitting 34 now, which is like what, 50 some odds. Conditions have rain with a temperature of 57 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from west at 8 miles per hour. The humidity is 93. Yee. Conditions are cloudy for Vatco with a temperature of 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from east-northeast at 6 miles per hour. Humidity is 89. Let's see. I assume it's gotten even hotter here, but it could be that I'm wrong. Sometimes am. Oh, it is. It did get warmer. I told you guys so. We haven't seen the brunt of it yet. Here, the weathers are sunny with a temperature of 93 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 34 degrees Celsius. Wind is blowing from south at 9 miles per hour, and the humidity is 43. It is getting drier and it's getting hotter outside here. And I tell you, I would much rather have this being in Spain or somewhere else, because in Spain this is dry heat. Here it's just warm. It feels boiling in a whole different way. And it doesn't feel like a low humidity at all, but it's reasonably low. It's decreasing at least. And we are expecting thunderstorms tonight because, well, for obvious reasons. As soon as it goes into like 30s here, you often have a chance of thunders. I should give it a look. What does it say? There is a warning for thunderstorms until midnight. That's probably true. And they are expecting that we could risk locally to get up to 36 degrees, which is like freaking warm. Yeah, for us, that's just warm. And I mean, still no air conditioning. So that is why the door is closed, because it is cooler indoor than it is outside. And if I open the door, I'm just inviting that heat indoor. And honestly, I'd rather have it outdoor than indoor in this case. In the winter, of course, it would be nice, but it's not winter. It's just summer and warm. At least with the rain, the chainsaw stopped. Yeah, well, that was logic, I guess. Sounds like an old-timey country saying, "Whittle into an old barn board, Lisa." Probably. Your area is kind of old-timey. Oh, that's fun, I guess. Do, do. 1, 2. Lots of homesteaders in your area? Okay. Granted, used to have a homestead. Hence why I know where produce comes from. 2, 4, 6. 3. Did I count over here? 2, 4. That's good. That's good. Goody, goody, goody. Lisa, if you want to laugh, check out Farming Will Beige on YouTube. Probably TikTok has lots of funny farm content. So I finished watching Clarkson's Farm, and I'm kind of sad for them, to be honest, for the season. Last year was really rough for them, and I guess it's all pending now because he also was diagnosed with prostate cancer. But that said, his wife has been doing brilliant with the tractoring. Russ says he doubts the show goes on. Yeah, I guess that highly depends on what's going to happen this year, right? Because it is still one of the most watched shows on Prime. Have you guys seen Crochet? Not sure. It seems like there's a channel with that name. Oh my goodness. A bro who crows. That's crazy. I mean, some of these are crazy, but it's basically like cosplay, crocheted outfit, and yeah, crochet stuff. Wow. Why not? It looks pretty cool, actually. Clarkson has never been in the best of health. No, he definitely. No, no. That's fair enough to say. He's definitely not been that healthy with his life. Now it sounds familiar, still waking up. Megan says, we met him at Rhinebeck last year. He was so nice. I think it's pretty awesome what he makes from it, though. Stria's husband keeps bucking her to make his stuff. She says no, so now he's debating on learning to crochet to make it. He's also a bit of like a cosplayer type or role player. I guess it could be both. We all need a craft. I agree. I have multiple crafts. I definitely have some I do more of, though. Everyone should also know how to cook. Well, that's like at least cook basics and so on, right? So that they aren't totally completely lost for worlds. I'm debating on buying him Crochet's pattern book for his birthday in August. That's a good idea. Okay, they play a lot of role playing, Dungeons and Dragons, and do Ren fairs. That makes sense. It is popular. I think I would probably also do that if um, I haven't had everything else also going on in life. Sounds like a great gift. It's definitely a gift that could maybe motivate him to take up the hook. Agreed. Even if it doesn't take up the hobby, the book itself could be a cool conversation piece. And in worst case, maybe he could convince his wife to do them. So, I mean, I've actually crocheted a bread basket, quote unquote. I've crocheted 2 bread baskets for our kitchen. And they're useful items, and we still use them. So, I mean, agreed with my partner, I should maybe do one when the old one is getting worn out, and we did. He got to choose the color. We are almost at the cake change, my friends. So I am gonna just put in a stitch marker because I need scissors. Look here. Right here. It's right there. Woohoo! Isn't that cool? Color change! Cutty cut. Oh, well, cake change. Next one will be a color change. When I'm getting there. So that's how it looked before. I think we're still on the light because we defaulted. So we should probably go all light, and then we can go a little bit darker so that the colors pop a little bit more. I think maybe that's better. So we're going on this, but this is the last cake of that color that I'm currently working on, which means obviously that we will then continue on to the next. So we are about to add the last bits of flamingo. I saved Saint Nick more than once. That sentence probably just got me a couple of watch lists. Maybe. For Christmas, he made a D&D campaign for us to play as a family. Sounds pretty fun, though. I've definitely played in the past, like when I was younger, but not really after I moved away from home. Just too many other things going on. 4, 6. I played Shadowrun with a foreign national. I know NASA is monitoring me. Okay. Or NSAA. Sorry. NSAA, not NASA, but damn. I think we all watched. Reality is just this world is definitely a big brother studio. I mean, the first day I was wearing my watch, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to go to the Lidl." It basically popped up and said, "The distance from here to the local Lidl is blah blah blah, and this is the route." And I'm like, "I didn't ask you for help. I know where it is." Like, that's scary shit. You are listening to my conversation. National Security Agency. I'm sorry, I'm from alphabet soup land. I forget not everybody knows ABC Agamnis. Agamnic? Agamses? Jesus. You mean acronyms? Shortenings? Abbreviations? I mean, I could throw a lot of shortenings out from the Dutch world, which nobody would have a clue about. Agencies. Ah, okay, that was a typo. I was like, what the fuck is this supposed to be? Don't worry. This is just like how fit I am today. I'm like not thinking straight. 2, 4, 6. So my biggest fear is really to make a mistake in this row. I would be very, very sad if I would have to frog. But yeah, if that happens, then it happens, and that's just how it's going to be, right? Good. We need another yarn. Like that, and then we'll drop that one, and then we'll continue with that one. So we changed cake officially. We are on the new one. Time to crack on. Rev is waking up, and I'm just not awake at all. Even though I've been using the AI today at work. It thinks for me, I guess. Makes you lazy. I know we're being watched too by our version of NSA, which is CSIS, with all our travel to Mexico. Plus, we have a Mexican bank account, so we send ourselves money frequently. Yeah. So they're probably wondering if you guys are trying to omit paying taxes and shit like that, which doesn't necessarily have to be, but I mean, yeah. I just assume I'm watched no matter where I go. And I think it's sort of scary. We pay more than our fair share of taxes. So do I. I am still upset with what they want to do for taxation of basically wealth. Here in the Netherlands, they assume that if you do have amount of savings, that depending on where those savings are located, you will make a certain amount of money. And they are not going to look at the realized returns. They're just going to take this assumption return. So let's say that you have 100,000 in stocks. And I'm just saying 100,000 because it's easy calculation, right? And of those 100,000, they expect you to make 6% a year. And henceforth, that is 6,000 euros. Because 100,000 with 6% is 106. Then they will want you to pay tax of those 6,000 euros, about 30 point some odd percent. 36, I think it is. That doesn't matter, but just, for matter of speaking, they want to pay like 2,000 euros tax of those 6,000 euros because they assumed that you made the profit. But if you didn't sell your stocks yet, and if it's not a stock that you get dividend from where you have realized a return, you didn't realize that before you're selling it. But basically, based on this hypothetical realization, you will then be forced to sell your investments to be able to pay your taxes. Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah, they want to tax projected income right now. And obviously, everybody's against it because it's totally ridiculous. Like, I'm absolutely fine with having to pay tax of realized earnings. Like, realized income is okay. Let's assume that I got 4,000 euros in dividends. Doesn't matter how much money I have invested, I got 4,000 euros in dividends. I will have to pay tax of 4,000 euros in dividends. That's okay because I realized 4,000 euros. I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with being taxed on a projected estimated income set by the government. Like, basically, the government right now is telling me to spend my money. Like, because you get to pay tax of it. So I paid tax on my money when I earned them in the first place. And then I'll have to pay tax again because sometimes suddenly I have too much in my savings account. Regardless if this money is invested or not. That is fucking ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not a happy camper right now. And hopefully they will realize that it's the most ridiculous idea that they have gotten to date. And that it will get better. Or they will increase the threshold for when taxes are to be paid based on projected earnings. Like, so you're allowed to have so much money which does not get calculated towards this. But I mean, it's ridiculous. So right now, because if I earn X amount of money and I don't spend every penny I earn, but I actually make a saving, I'm going to get taxed again. And that's freaking unfair. And this is also one of the reasons that I'm really looking into the rules for the pension schemes and so on, because that gets taxed differently. So that's probably going to be the better worth. I mean, if I'm allowed to put, let's say, 1,000 euros in on it's similar to your 401k, etc. account, like sort of, you can only get the money when you're retired. I mean, that doesn't get taxed as wealth, but it will get taxed when it gets paid back out. But then you don't have to pay tax off it now when you're depositing it. But there is a limit to the amount you're allowed to put in to get tax deduction from. Um, 4, 6. But I guess it's a good reason to buy yarn then. I put my whole life investment in yarn. I mean, it seems to be a better place to have the money stuck. than on the bank account. And for years, it's actually been said that it was actually a bit of a tax paradise to be a Dutch investor because we don't pay dividend tax. And private people indeed don't pay dividend tax. And I'd be fine if we had to, as like, but then they shouldn't do the rest. In Canada, a version of that is called RRSP, Registered Retirement Savings Plan. It's basically a hedge fund backed by the government. Yeah, something along those lines. Not sure if it's backed by government, but there is a couple of big companies doing it. And I do think there is definitely some backing of some kind. And I don't think we'll finish this row today. I'm not halfway, but the stream is halfway. But I mean, I genuinely think that that's a good idea for me. The problem is I haven't decided which provider. Right now, I'm dabbling between two options. There's a really good company that's they're also handling the one I have with my employer. So my employer pays in a certain amount per month. Then I can make it private myself as well on the side. I could do that with that company, or I can option to do it at an investment platform who also offers and supports it. But there I will have to do the investing myself. So I'll have to like pick the mutual funds myself, etc., that I wanted the money to be invested in. And I wonder if it can be just a good thing to kind of feel safe in the sense of somebody's doing it who does it on a daily basis. And that's a little bit more security. So that's probably a better idea. Two, 4, 6. If you have just zoomed in to this crochet channel, welcome to Grown Up Talks. 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's just kind of what it is, right? Grown Up Talks. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 2. I'm rather scared with the amount of stitches I have in a row. Like, if I had a lace row, I can't even finish that in 3 hours. Oh my goodness. I don't think I did. Did I do that last time either? I don't think I did. I think we were also short. It would be cool if we reached to a color change, but I don't think so either. But we'll crack along. But yeah, so the law on the projected income has not 100% been decided yet, so to say. Um, they aren't. It's not 100% finalized. But what I wish they would do is just to like tax us on realized income. Basically, that would be the fair thing to do. 1, 2, 3. I do understand the unrealized gains tax. One of the way the ultra wealthy get away with paying no taxes is getting paid in stock options when taking loans out based on those stocks. Yeah. They live on the loaned money, never cash out, therefore having no taxable income. Which is crazy, right? I mean, I think it should happen. So I think the Danish system is kind of okay. So in Denmark, you pay 2 types of taxes on income. Well, you have your regular income you pay through your boss, blah, 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 if you have a job. Assuming you are so filthy rich that you have a bunch of stocks, if you get a dividend, you pay a dividend tax, which is lower until a certain threshold, then it gets higher. And you also pay unrealized gains. That means that if you would only gain stocks, you you technically wouldn't get any cash in your hand, and therefore also, I guess, no tax to be paid. Hey, Jessica, good morning. Indeed, it must be nice not to have to pay tax. I totally agree. Elon Musk is now a billionaire and pays less taxes than the average person. Yeah, well, that's wrong, right? But I mean, I think it's not fair to have to pay tax twice on money that you earned once, if that makes sense. And I am absolutely fair with paying tax on realized gains. But I'm not fair with paying a projected tax. Yeah, it's pretty gross. That you can basically borrow money and get stock options for it. That's kind of crazy. Very gross that it's possible. I mean, things like that shouldn't be able to happen. There is also different taxation if you swing trade, for example, in Denmark. But I think it's a whole different situation, right? Because let's assume with the new rules coming that the value of the stock I have just one type stock, for example, right? This is again to keep it simple. And the value of this single stock has increased. Based on that projection, they don't care if that stock increase or decrease. You still need to pay this projected tax. So you invest in the wrong stock, the stock decreases because whatever happens in the market, the interest rate changes or whatever not, and then therefore the stock either increase or decrease in value. If it decreases in value, you still have to pay whatever projected tax because it's a projected one. It is an estimated income that you will have. It's not based on what reality happened, that your portfolio dropped 5% in value, but you will still get taxed as if it gained 6%. I mean, that's just illogical. It will make a lot more people less keen to invest. And I mean, that's probably also why I didn't think that far when I decided to get myself a new watch, because I was like, if everything changes how they're going to do next year, I'd rather want to spend my money, I guess. So, I mean, I don't want to pay extra tax on that account. And by the way, I should get money back today. That's from last year's taxes. This year might be different. We'll have to see. 2, 4, 6. Yeah. We pay tax on our paycheck, then pay tax on everything we buy. Then in April we have to pay income tax again. On paper, I made 14,000 last year. I had to pay 1,700 income tax in April. Well, yeah, I also have extra tax usually paid a year in advance for my business, for the small business I have. Last year I didn't earn much because I made a huge order with my supplier, fearing the exact trade war that's currently ongoing. It did end up not being as bad as predicted, but I mean, due to that mass order, my income was not as high as one could have expected. So it's basically just a postponed tax. 2, 4, 6. If I would have made 3,999, I wouldn't have had any income tax at all. That $1 cost me 1,700. That's crazy. You should just pay tax of that $1. Too much. Like, and that would have been, I don't know, X% of cents of tax. But I mean, that would have been the logic. But we also have brackets here where sometimes you can think, that makes no sense. No, it doesn't. This, my friends, is where I do think I had the... Is it that far back? Apparently. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yep, that is... We are heading up to where I have the little mistake. For those who may be able to see it, those who may not. But as I said, I don't care right now, because I did not want to frog all those stitches back. I did not. So on some aspects, I don't pay much tax. On other aspects, I feel I pay lots of tax. But it's definitely not as bad as, like, if I would earn similar in Denmark, I have a feeling I would probably pay more tax there. Which is why generally you would earn more there for the same type of job. But then we can also look back into what is costs of living in a country, etc. So it can't be 100% compared, right? If you want to do anything, you'd want to have your salary from your own country and move to a cheaper country, living-wise. So, I mean, but you would have to guarantee somehow that you could bring your income with you. 4, 6. So while I am absolutely allowed to travel with my job and bring my work with me, my employer is pretty clear that I have to live in the Netherlands. 2, 4, 6. Like, I have to have an official address, etc. here. Due to, I guess where they also are bound tax-wise. Checkity, checkity, check. Oh, we are almost at the halfway point. Hallelujah, my friends. That is sweet. Meanwhile, Rev wants to hear if we all want to hear something funny. Sure. Shoot. We are ready to laugh rather than to talk about depressive taxes. Let's stop being grown-up talk. Let's hear fun stuff. Fun things would be me finishing up today, but that's not happening. My late father was apparently a part of a class action lawsuit against an insurance company. My aunt is the executor of his estate and sent me a card with his share of the payout. Guess how much? 2 cents? Like, it sounds ridiculous. But on the other hand, 159. But I wouldn't know. It could also be millions, of course. $6. Yeah. Ooh, you're rich. You're rich. $6. Woohoo! I mean, you can go get a skein of yarn. A small skein of yarn. Hallelujah. But watch it, Rev. They could come and charge you inheritance tax on those $6. I mean, make sure you have something to pay the inheritance tax with, just in case. I think postage to send the card was like a third of the cost of that payout. Probably. It's sometimes we can all shake our heads with certain actions done. Um, I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys something ridiculous now. If my parents would send a letter to another Dane, so a letter in Denmark to another Danish address, that cost more than if I am to send a letter from the Netherlands to Denmark. And it's not by just a bit. Oh my goodness, what's the postage now? Let me just for funsies check. What would it cost to send a letter? Um, right now, it would finding costs. I guess trying to, that didn't go well. Send a letter in Denmark. A regular mail, no rush. The lowest weight possible is 23 Danish crowns. That's like 3 euros, roughly, right? Let's just, for funsies, go see what will it cost for me to send a card to Denmark. We want to send it to Denmark. A letter to Denmark costs 15 Danish crowns or 2 euros 11, roughly. I mean, you can find the exact math if you want to. Also, for funsies, let's do pop over here. We do conversion, not to US dollars, we need Danish crowns. We'll flip it over, we'll do. So basically here it says if I want to send a letter in Denmark weighing max 100 grams is 23 Danish crowns. Boom. So we need to enter 23 Danish crowns here. That's 3 euros and 7 cents. If I am here to send a letter, though that's at max 20 grams, so it's a lot less weight, to Denmark, it's 2 euros 11 cents. I mean, it's almost a full euro difference sending international from the Netherlands to Denmark. And it would be the same if I would send a regular letter, by the way, to, like, if I were only to send, let's say, a letter with stickers to, let's say, the States, that's the same price. Unless, of course, I do bigger things. And depending on how bigger it is, then, well, you don't get track and trace on this letter. It's just a letter, right? But I mean, that's crazy that this is the price in Denmark. Okay, let's see if I want to say it to the foreign country. Then it's 46 Danish crowns. So if I'm in Denmark going to send this to here, I'm going to pay 6 euros 15 for the same service I pay 2 euros 11 for in the Netherlands. Isn't that crazy? Like, genuinely, it would be cheaper for my parents to, like, if I were in Denmark in beginning of December, I would bring Christmas cards with me home from Denmark to post in the Netherlands for my parents to send back to friends in Denmark, and it would be cheaper for them. It would be 2 euros 11 to Canada as well, as long as I don't send a parcel. Packages depends on weight and size and so on. I know she was laughing while I was sending that card. Her note was really sarcastic, I can imagine. I mean, if she knew the amount, then she would also feel it rather ridiculous doing it like this. But sending to Canada would be the same. It doesn't matter if I send to the US or Canada. As soon as I send internationally, it's the same fee. They just have one fee, no matter where in the world it goes. With the exception of packages, that's different. It is cheaper to ship within the European Union and the Netherlands, of course, than it is to ship further away. Parcel shipping starts at, I think, 14 euros for the US, if it is within A4 size, or a bit larger than A4, but not much. It's pretty wild, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And then I think it's even more crazy that you can buy things at Temu and get them shipped all the way to Europe for no shipping fee at all. Well, that shipping fee is obviously covered in the product sales, but I mean, that's already so cheap that how is that even possible? Update, it's still raining, but the chainsaws are going again. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, assume I had lived in Denmark, I would not have been able to afford. Like, people wouldn't even buy due to the shipping prices, I think. Um, unless, well, in Denmark, it's just how it is, and there's no other choice. But I mean, those prices are insane. So I guess I should have one more now. 2, 4, 6, 7 plus 3 fits. So far, the logic is withheld. I should probably look at the pattern to see if I'm true. That I am indeed doing the right thing right now. That's actually a good idea. I mean, soon I've done half a side and I'm wrong. That would make me cry. Yep, that's true. And the next is then supposed to be 8 for the very tip. Oh, that's okay. That's cool. I can do that. I can do that. Oops, lol, chainsaws is at my in-laws' house. One should think you should know when what that would happen then. I mean, it's family, right? Oh my. Is that... what is this for? Oh. Yeah, no, that doesn't matter. So my computer says it's colder than it was, but I still think it's probably pulling up towards the magic 34, 35. Oh, that might not take because of the dash. Oh, it did. We are still at 93 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity has dropped though by another, like, what percentage? Yay. 4, 6, 7. I wonder if one should check the rain report, but right now that does not look like there is any rain in the vicinity. Well, in Belgium there's rain. And it looks like... well, that's because it's not here. It won't rain just yet, but it will definitely rain tonight, I think. Let's see, can I get like a 6 hour plus 8? Yeah, it's gonna rain tonight. Not as bad as it could be. It's gonna be further far north. based on current predictions. Let me just pop you guys over to our weather report. This, my friends, is that's right now. Ta-ta. I don't live where the box is. I'm a bit further. I'm out here. So there is some rain, but that's like at 9-ish this evening. So that is not too bad. The bad weather is northern, southern parts, but not here, which I guess is okay. It can change also rapidly. We have been bugging them to get yard care to get a yard care guy. There are 81 and 87 trying to maintain a 5-acre yard themselves. Yeah, maybe sometimes it's just like, you know, they can do lots themselves maybe, but get the heavy stuff done by a professional. That would probably be a good idea. You know, it's not because you're telling them that they can't go remove weeds on their own or something like that, but you know, maybe cutting trees and so on is heavy duty work. And then they would probably be better off just sticking to removing weeds rather than trying to cut trees. I'll have to say, part of me could also easily figure out maybe one should just pay somebody to come and do my weeds. 2, 4, 6, 8 matches. I mean, the best one could probably get would be a school kid who's wanting to earn some pocket money. But they shouldn't cut trees. But we don't have trees to cut. We just have weeds in the tiles, on the terrace, stuff like that. They need more than a school kid. It's pristine manicured yard. Yeah. Well, we don't have that much room. We don't have 5 acres at all. Like, you know, I think ours is probably 10 by 15 meters, something like that. Like, we don't have a big garden by any means at all whatsoever. And the Netherlands ground is insanely expensive, especially where we live. 6, 8. Like, obviously, it would be more expensive if you get towards Amsterdam region, but I mean, right now everything is being built on. So the fact that we have our own garden is pretty big. Rev getting an estimate on lawn care in sometime in the next few days. Like, I absolutely respect the guys that does it, and I don't blame people for getting it done. I mean, I enjoy my garden as in I love to sit in it and just like be outside and it knowing it's my own, but I don't like the gardening chores. That said, I have been debating on getting myself a strawberry wall. Like that would be so cool. So we have we have like a brick wall into our neighbors. It's about probably 2 meters long, maybe 2.5. And that kind of divides our terrace with the terrace of the neighbors from where we go out on the backyard. And then after there, we have like a long hedge, which is probably 2 meter high and 5, 6 meters long. And I'd love to have a a strawberry wall. Of some kind. So let's see. It's a bit like a tower without being a tower. So let me just pop over here. This is like a Dutch version of Amazon. Imagine sort of something like this. I have something like this, which is like a stacker. But I'd like something that's more like a wall-minded thing. For instance, stackable, like you garden vertically, so to say. This is also with spots for it. Or this, for example, right? Like try imagine putting strawberries in and just having them grow up this side. Not that. That takes up too much space. And I need something put towards the wall, right? Like also that would be the concept here, I guess. It's a meter by a meter. But to have it all against the wall, that would work great. I think that's actually pretty cool made. But I would want it like kind of stacked in a rack. Let's see if I can get, yeah, this would probably be closest of what makes most sense, except, well, this is 6 pieces. They are 33 centimeters by 18. And they're like a click system that you can kind of click together. Which I love this idea. Like vertical strawberry planter or wall. Well, that's pretty cool too. Okay, that concept. Just not that crazy. And I like the thought of it being vertical because I don't have to bend then to pluck the strawberries. That's the point here. I do not want to like bend down and get them all plucked up. I would love to do that because I don't mind doing the strawberry bit, but I need to have something that can also, if what's done, it needs to have like some sort of a water system going on as well to kind of help it. So that is a little dream of mine. I'd like to do that on the side here of our porch somehow. And it's getting sun. So, like, I mean, it would be great. Oh, that was a stitch too many. You have grass in Texas? Yeah, well, I guess there are some grasses. It's not a big yard, but between my health issues and my wife working, it's hard to get it. Hard to get to it. Yeah, get that. Live in wetlands. We're between the large lake and a river. Lisa's growing a cucumber wall. That's cool as well. Most of Central and East Texas is pretty green and wet. It's West and South Texas that's a desert. Texas Panhandle is desert, oil, and cotton. Aha. But yeah, so I think that could be cool with like a vertical strawberry rack, to be honest. And then I would want a system that one could expand on. But if I do it, I'll probably need to look at it towards the autumn, or I should have done it already in the spring. So that is I might do. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 7. Lisa sent a photo of her vegetable garden. Give me one moment, Lisa. Ooh, raised beds. Here we are. All the green pastures. So I don't even have as much space there. Like, you know, I mean, 2 raised beds like that and half my garden is gone. Well, not completely, but that's how it would feel like. But raised beds are nice. You do have like a pot similar to those I have, where you can like have herbs in, picking out the different spaces, which is actually kind of pretty cool. But the thing is, I need to think practical because of the actual amount of space we have. So if I want to grow strawberries, like more than just a few, I would probably need to go somehow in a rack type setup. And I definitely like the idea of being able to quote unquote rack it up against the wall here. But it may require screws in the wall. I would have to look at what options there are. I mean, I could stack it from bottom and just multiple layers if that will work. But it has to have some sort of watering system to go with it, or it would be like lots of unpractical watering. Yep, herb pot, indeed. Oh, not yet. That was the 1, 2, 3. Yep. I just checked my tracking on the parcel, and they are optimistic on how fast it'll get here through customs. Okay. I'm curious too. Did they even pick it up yet? Like, they're not saying tomorrow, are they? Because that's just not happening. I mean, I think it at the earliest would have gotten picked up today. Because, yeah. It's not a big parcel though, so that I guess kind of helps. But I'm curious what they're saying. Oh, one would have thought that they would accept that. Let's see what it says. June 25th, 27th, according to this one. I mean, they seem optimistic. Normally, I would say it's about 2 weeks, but I don't know after we changed everything here. It is received, but I still think it's laying here in the city center in the store, to be honest, where the post office is, because they empty it once a day when the store is open, and it had just been emptied when I came delivering it in yesterday. So I think it's first going to get picked up today, and then they will figure out the further transfer. But maybe because I am able to like prepay duty tax, that it will go swift through customs. I don't know. But you have to promise me to tell me how it goes at your end, because I am absolutely curious as to that part of the process, if it is as smooth as they now make it all sound. Rev says, I'm saying July at the earliest. Generally, postage from the EU is a couple of weeks to over a month. I did think I estimated, I do have like an estimate on the shipping, but they say something different. I think mine might say somewhere between 6 to 18 business days. So basically a week to 3 weeks, and it's usually about 2-ish. I can do that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, 6 to 18 business days is what I noted for US, which is usually true. Also depends on where you live and what hub it goes through. It's always the customs in New York that slows it down. Goodness, that's probably true. I wouldn't know. I'm curious how quick the customs go, because I prepaid duty tax, huh? When I bought the shipping labels, I need to declare the customs already for the shipping, and need to prepay the tariffs. Two, 4, 6 plus 3, 3, 2, 4, 6. Yep. So yeah, I am definitely keen to hear how well it goes and how smooth it goes. 2, 4, 6. Six. So we are more than halfway through, and I think it's fair to say it is a quicker row, but not as quick as one could desire. But I think that's just more patient things. Like, feels I've been doing this forever. 2, 4, 6 plus 3. I believe that there was a total of like what 60 some 60, 61, 50, 60. And then it says after row 60, you may find you have enough. If you have yarn over, if your tension isn't as loose as mine, you can either continue with row 61 or you can choose to repeat row 57 to 60. However many extra rows you can do depend on your personal tension. So basically, once I get to row 60, I'll give it a read and see how far I am. But right now we are at row 57 and we are not anywhere close. And I still think at row 60, I'll probably have some yarn over. But how much will be the big question. Because my attention is definitely different and it's also different yarn being used. So. And let's not forget to hydrate. I've been spring cleaning my kitchen the last couple of days. I found some neglected cast iron pans. So I've been reasoning them all day. Reseasoning, sorry. them the last 2 days. I was thinking of Rev and his poor oven. Oh. But Rev's oven is back in action. At least. Let's look at the bright side. So yeah, what's for dinner? We are actually getting closer and closer to dinner time here in Europe. So have you made any dinner plans yet? Here we are gonna get a so-called quiche. Quiche is like a tart. So we will have a tart with fish, spinach, and salmon. Yay, because we haven't had that enough. They were on sale last week in the store. And I decided to get them because, well, they were for sale. And they're good for a couple of weeks. So, yep, we are gonna have one today. And then we'll have another one sometime. Maybe not next week, but the week after. Not decided when. For 6. My oven is better than when we bought it. The repair guy probably calibrated. Yay! Lisa doesn't know what's for dinner yet. So that's still pretty open, I guess. Rev is making angel hair pasta with homemade tomato and cream sauce. That does sound good, though. That does sound good. So the downside of it being so warm right now, this is like last summer with Fleur. You know, I at some stage just stopped working on it because it was too warm to sit on it. I am definitely not freezing now either on my lap because right now it's like sitting with a blanket. That will be dinner for the next couple of days. Well, we did have like the dinner I made Sunday ended up being dinner for Tuesday and Wednesday as well, right? Without me knowing it. We first thought that was only for a single day, and I decided I agreed with my partner that then it would be best to like do that for Tuesday now when we knew I was going to be absent and we didn't know when I would come home and how long it would take to cook dinner and having appointments after dinner and stuff like that. Oh my goodness! It's been nearly a year! Wow. Is it 10 months already? That's insane. 10 months. We have to go out to our other property this evening, so it'll have to be something quick to eat. Well, find some quick dinner, some easy. But what do I know? There's always something easy. But we need to celebrate our members. Thank you, guys. Wow, it's been a year. That's awesome. I had a Zoom meeting last night, so I just did baked fish and taters tots, just some frozen breaded fish fillet. Yeah, so it's a bit like fish sticks, I would say, is what we would call them here. Some simple fish, which is a bit like chicken nuggets, but in a fish shape with fish in it. But here we can fry them on the pan or bake them on the pan. So it's like fish sticks, but larger whole piece of fish. Okay, well that's nice. We had a lot of fish this week, so I've basically had fish every day except for yesterday. It's a great idea. Forgot I had fish in the freezer. Well, I think we just helped Lisa figuring out what to do for dinner, I guess. Yep. Happy to help as always. Two, four, six. Ooh. Okay. Well, Then instead of frocking 2 stitches, we frocked 3. But I mean, I was making extra stitches. 2, 4, 6. So we'll skip bottom and get started on the other side. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to have some hopefully somewhat easier shoulder makes. I still have so I still have a shawl that I have started actively on that I need to keep going on, so to say. And yeah, that's basically. I only have 2 VIPs right now. This one and this. Oh, 3. This one, the shawl, the other shawl I started in the spring. So the water pearl shawl, as well as the waistcoat, where I need to make 2 buttons as well and make the 2 front panels. It's just been hanging, waiting. Because we focused on this, and then I would be super happy if we make it in time, and if we don't make it, then I guess it wasn't meant to be. And then for me, it's also getting time to find other projects that I want to make. But we are soon getting closer to me having much more freedom in the projects I want to make. Because we finished those I want to finish in 2026 projects. And I subconsciously thought it would take longer to 4-6. But I think also now, because I did start with this, I want to prevent it's going to be like Fleur taking 2 years. There is a motivation to get done. Rev isn't sure what he's going to be working on next. I'm not sure of what type of small projects I'll work on. I do have at least a bucket hat I can start on, or 2, which I might do just because, well, that could be easy makes. So I may option for that. I also definitely have some amigurumi style things that I want to do, where I also need to look at that and get going. Not that I'm in a rush or something, but I might put another skein into my corner to corner project. The plan is to have 24 skeins on it when it's all said and done. Now I have done 2. So 2 skeins into your big corner to corner project. It's long-term project and low priority. You can also just like do a skein and take a break, and do a skein and take a break. I don't know, like 24 skeins. That could be a year project if you say you need to do 2 skeins a month and then break, and then another 2 skeins and then break, right? I don't know what you're thinking, but that could be a logic way of doing it. Here, the reality is more I know how long it takes to do a full color transition of this yarn. And it's just, I just don't have that much time every day to crochet at the moment. You just work on it between things. Yeah. I could definitely have done that with some of my projects. But no. I didn't. But I definitely need some projects. Preferably some quicker makes. The feeling of having stuff finished is nice. I mean, and I definitely also need to get going on the blocking of other projects. So, because the reality is I probably have like 10 shawls in my cupboard where I don't think I'm going to use all of those. So I am going to throw those as I go through them and get them blocked. I'll make an estimate as to will I be using this or not. And if I don't think I'll be using it, I'm just going to sell it. Just may as well clear out some space. Can't keep it all. I'd like to keep it all, but I cannot keep it all. 12 skeins of Bitty Stripes Galaxy and 12 skeins of smaller Red Heart Super Saver in black. Okay. For 6. It does sound gorgeous. I think we might have seen some of it at some stage. At least that's the idea I have, because it sounds familiar. Three, 2, 4, 6. Sweetie lady. Bitty Stripes run 515 yards or 471 meters, and the black is 364 yards or 333 meters. At what weight? For weight. So I'm looking at 10,584 yards. Oh, sorry, 48 yards on this thing when it's all said and done. Ooh. That's like double the amount I used, I think, for Fleur. I think that was like 6,000 some odd, if I don't remember wrong. And this shawl is 3.27-ish. It's definitely going to be a big blanket. Is it going to be like a full queen size bedspread or something? Thicker for weight. Might be king sized. Okay. But definitely huge. When I destashed that yarn earlier this week, got rid of all my super saver. Just from putting it in the box, my hand broke out in hives. I wish I could use bitty stripes again. The colors are beautiful. Oh my goodness. There is definitely something that you don't like on that yarn. Ref, it's something for the colder days, not for the warm summer days, trust me, especially when it is huge. You do not want to crochet on that in the summer. No, 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 no. I mean, right now this is pretty warm. I made a stitch too many. 2, 4, 6. Rev has a similar reaction to mohair. Oh my goodness. That's no good either. That's a sad thing. Like mohair is nice, soft. Red Hat yarns on sale at Janspirations. Well, I can't even shop by Janspirations because I'm in the EU, even if I wanted to. A lot of people have reactions to mohair. Okay. Probably the lanolin. Plausible. Do not need more red heart. Have 2 full bins of it. 2 full bins to use. Four, 6, and 3. Sweet. Yeah, how would you react to superwash? Is it wool in general, or is it just mohair? Like, I know, for example, Amanda, she just, anything wool is not good. Yep, that really does suck. Makes you needing to be extra aware about what you get. Herd alpaca might be better. Could be. Some people react to any wool, others react only to specific types of wool. If I can't use it, I will just give it away to my stitch group. And I'm sure they will appreciate it. Lisa has a hank of yarn that her daughter spun on the wheel. It's merino alpaca and it's dreamy. Oh, nice. Sounds nice and soft. When I bought in the mohair, the lady gave the lady I gave it to was practically in tears. Oh, mohair isn't cheap either, right? So I do actually have a crochet project with mohair. It's double-stranded alpaca mohair that I need to do at some stage as well. A really pretty cream and latte colorway. Well, I'm looking forward to use my sage one, but I'll definitely need to sit down with a knitting pattern. See if my mom can read English knitting patterns. I mean, it's not Danish, so. Yetli, yetli, yetli. I am curious. Because I will, at some stage, need help. Yeah. I got some mohair acrylic from Temu. It's actually reasonably soft, and yes, I did a burn test to check it. So it's an acrylic looking like mohair, or is it a combo mohair acrylic breakdown of the contents? Because I have some yarn that is 100% synthetic, but it looks and acts as if it was mohair. It's a blend, okay. Because I have a polyamide acrylic blend, which is almost like a mohair, which is from Lamians, which is a Dutch yarn brand, actually. And I'm gonna attempt to knit a shawl with that. Rev says he needs to head out soon. Well, we need to end soon. In any case, it's 10 to 5 here. Definitely Wednesday. The plan is for me to be live on Wednesday. On Monday we will have a Sort My Stash series. And then Wednesday I'll be live, and Friday we'll have a yarn talk because I have appointments Friday, making me unable to go live basically. And then of course I'll be live again the following week. So have a great weekend, Rev. I hope to see you on Wednesday, and maybe I'll see you before then in my stash sorting video. And until then, take care and happy stitching. Susan is also saying to everybody that they should have a good weekend. Definitely, that is super nice. I do hope everybody has a great upcoming weekend and that whatever plans they have will go smooth and enjoyable. Meanwhile, I can do a couple of more stitches. We aren't not even close to being halfway through this, it feels like. As I said, this row, it's evidentially that it won't finish today. It is quicker though, but not as quick as being able to finish it. That's crazy, right? Because we've been here for like 2 hours and 45 minutes ish or so is my quick rough estimate. I mean, the good news is that we are a lot closer to the magic at 2,000 members or subscribers. And when we have 2,000 subscribers, we will host another giveaway for a free pattern on Ravelry. So always good to have a couple of patterns in that list that you'd like to get. Because that would be nice. Da, da, da. We are getting closer and closer. So we aren't really started on the coloring change yet. So I'm afraid, well, I'm not afraid, I know for a fact this will happen this weekend. What happened today? I don't know. It depends because I do have a few things to do today. I will definitely crochet when I have time. But I mean, this is how we are looking. We are still on the somewhat darker coloring, but there is a light change up here, just here. Right, that little triangle is the new one. And we still have this much to go on this round. Oof. So that's just not happening today. We are gonna crochet up whatever yarn I just pulled, I think. And that is probably where we will be wrapping up. I do hope that you enjoyed us being live an extra day on a Friday. As I said, it feels a bit ridiculous to do a yarn talk video when the only thing I've been doing for a week is, or 2 weeks, is the Hat Collector Shawl. That said, next week Friday I have done more on this, but I've also finished projects since last time, which was like my couch project. So we do have a little bit more content due to that for that video. So that's going to be great. It could also be, there is still the opportunity that I figure out something else as an alternative video to a yarn talk, because it's not like it's a lot. So we got where we got, and we'll pop over to this window. Oh, that was too quick. And conclude that I, my friends, have done probably 3/4 of a side. Oop. I bumped the lamp. I hope that you have enjoyed a 2 days hangout. I definitely have enjoyed my day. I'm going to wish you all a super great weekend. Stay stitchy and happy crafting. I totally enjoyed your company today. If you're watching this live from the beginning all the way to the end, thank you so much for your support. It is much appreciated. And yeah, I will see you on Monday in the Sort My Stash video and stacking it on Ravelry. And further than that, we will be back live next week, Wednesday, around 2 p.m. Central European Time. Until then, take care. Bye.